Do you make enough time for your family and other things that you enjoy? So I'll leave it to you. Do I make enough time for y'all? Putting you on the spot.
I know. You want to beat with that?
Putting you on the spot. Hey. Putting you on the spot. Hey. On the spot. Hey.
Oh no! Don't start that dance challenge again.
All right, let's move on to this last question from Don Marco 2, who says, my question is not related to surgery, but what advice would you give to recently matched and soon to start the intern year? So first of all, shout out to you, Don Marco. Congratulations for matching. That's really dope. That's a big deal. That goes without saying mad props to you. All right. And soon to start the intern year. So intern year is going to be one of the toughest transitions to go from to go from med school to being an intern. That is really tough.
What specialty is it? If you're still on down.
Yeah, let us know what specialty you're going into.
What specialty is it? Let us know.
I think the biggest barrier for me was, man, I don't know. I got to think about that, man, because it was just a lot of shit, man. Just going from med school to,
let's just put it like this. Dr. Love said that he has to head out because he got a 6 a.m. shift tomorrow. Dr. Don Marco, you gonna be at the hospital at 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Just leave it at that. Hopefully, you won't be there that early, but you should be there before your attendings. I just think for me that was I really felt like I was adulting. I was adulting during that time, and that was tough, right? I finally got my first paycheck, and I had to decide what I was going to do, with getting housing, and I got to cook for myself, and I was cooking for myself before, but now I got less time to cook now, so eating out a lot, dealing with just the different personalities of the other interns, and then also dealing with the relationships of the hierarchy, which I wasn't really used to. The program or the school that we went to didn't really put us, at least the experiences that I had, it was really a lot of one-on-one working with an attending or maybe working with an attending with several medical students, but not necessarily in a formal residency program, which I don't think it really hurt me that much, but it's just
It was an adjustment.
It was an adjustment.
Yeah, it definitely was.
For you want to say something about intern year?
I think, the thing that I think you just need to know about intern year, because it can vary so much depending on your specialty, depending on the program that you're in, is that you're just going to have to be really, really flexible with what is to come. And just understand that, life is not going to look today the way that it looks tomorrow. It just is not. So if you are in medical,
internal medicine,
oh,
you got this.
Yeah, lots of rounding, rounding in
the morning, rounding in the afternoon,
rounding in the morning, rounding in the evening, rounding in the summertime.
And don't be consulting surgery. Don't be consulting surgery at 5 o'clock in the evening, man. Save those consults. If there's something that happens at 5 o'clock in the evening, save it for night shift or save it to the next day. But look, man, I'm trying to leave.
Okay.
Internal medicine be doing that all the time. And then they order a CT scan. Y'all do this. Y'all order a CT scan in the morning. The CT scan is done by noon. Then it's read by 3. Then you consult us at 6 o'clock. It's yo, I'm out the door. Just a tidbit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Don Marco, don't listen to any of that because you're not going to be the one making those decisions in your intern year. So, advice for someone who is newly matched would be literally to be flexible and understand that life today is not going to look like life tomorrow. So be prepared in some way, shape, or form to be shocked. But when you are shocked, right? When you are shocked, you're like, holy crap, I can't believe what is going on. Just understand you are not alone. This is normal, okay? This is normal to be shocked into a new environment in this particular way.
Popeyes for dinner.
Yeah, you don't have to have Popeyes, but don't listen to him.
Pepsi in the morning. That's me.
That was you.
Pepsi
right?
in the morning. Maybe a hard-boiled egg for breakfast real quick. Lunch was whatever was in the cafeteria. And then dinner, I was so tired. I was like, yo, Popeyes.
Okay, that's enough. He don't live in a place where he
4 chicken wings fried hard.
Okay.
fried hard.
Okay, thank you,
what I'm talking
Wyclef.
about. Yeah.
So the other thing is, if you are moving to a new city, especially if you don't know that city, consider renting, not buying a home, right? Consider renting. If you don't know the city in particular, don't go and buy somewhere, because next you done bought, the most expensive house in the worst neighborhood. So just, beware of that, because like your friend over here, Dr. Nee did, he went and bought a new house, and 2 years later it was
I bought.
It was worth a third of what he bought.
In 2006, and
Yeah.
let's just say 2008 occurred, and I should have just rented. So
Yeah.
that's what I would say, rent, because you don't know how your first year is going to go. You don't know how your residency is going to go. So it's cool just to rent, figure out the neighborhoods, figure out if you can bike to your place, figure out what busing routes, what car you want to use, all those different things. And then after you get through your first year, then maybe you can consider buying. And if you are going to buy, afterwards, then see if maybe you can get like some type of investment property, like a duplex, or some type of townhome, and then you can get like a roommate or something like that. Something that can lower your cost, and kind of help you focus on not only just, paying out something, but also building something if you decide to do that.
Right.
That's what I would say.
About student loan debt.
After 6 months, they come in. But yeah, they will come after your 6 months, right?
What you gonna do when they come for you?
They'll send you a coupon book, or they'll do it online, but you have to start paying your loans.
There's no coupon book no more, do they?
But during that time, you're going to have to decide, like, can you make the payments on a standard repayment plan, or do you need to go into some type of income-based repayment plan? That's something that we've talked about in the past, and we probably need to have like an expert come on and talk more about that.
Right.
But in essence, you'll apply to whoever is your student loan servicer and say, listen, man, like, this is how much I'm making from residency. I ain't got enough to make payments for my student loans to pay like a full amount. You know what I'm saying? So they will like hopefully decrease your payments and put you in some type of income-based repayment plan. And then that will kind of start you in the PSLF program, right? The Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, which is a great program. If you can get into it and you make, consecutive payments for 10 years, at the end of 10 years, all of your student loan debt is forgiven.
Right.
We didn't do that because that wasn't available for us when we were in residency. And I forgot how it worked out, but basically we just decided to pay off all of our student loan debt when we got out. But that's one thing to consider also is just, once you start your intern year and you get into it, you want to make sure that you get your student loan situation settled. You don't have to pay it off. You just need to know how are you going to start paying this off. And hopefully you get into like an income-based payment program. Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say is this is probably the time when you want to start thinking about retirement investment. Right? So you're like, why should I start thinking about retirement investment? I'm just going into residency. Well, because you're going to be making itty little bitty bit of money in residency. Okay. And the stakes are low. Right? So every single residency program should have some sort of 403B program. That's essentially your retirement savings program. Okay. Some of them are going to match. Some of them are not. You want to start when the stakes are low with just a little itty bit of money, because it's easier to gamble with $100, or it's easier to gamble $100 than it is to gamble $10,000, right? Meaning that the small amount of income that you're making in residency, you want to start building that muscle of investing now, rather than saying, well, I'll just wait until I make 6 figures and then I'm going to put the big money into investment. Why would you do that, right? Because...
And then you throw on top of that, you're busy now.
Right.
You're now starting a new practice, or you're joining a new practice and you're learning your new craft.
Right.
You may be starting a new family. Like, it's going to be very difficult for you to pick up that skill of investing if you haven't flexed that muscle before. You know what I'm saying? Like this. Oh, right? See that? Be able to do this.
Put your arm down, me.
Right? So if you start as a resident, first of all, the money that you make, like, you have to look at it as you need money to live, but you also should be putting money away, either in savings or putting it in a way so that it can do some work for you, right? And one of the best ways is either maybe putting in some real estate or investing in yourself, or maybe putting it in the stock market possibly, right? Without getting into too much specifics, but you should find a way to put some money aside to kind of grow for you also. And you should start flexing that muscle while you're a resident when the stakes are low. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. But we usually recommend starting at the very least with your 403B or an IRA, right? Like your retirement investment vehicles.
Yeah. So that IRA is something that is your own. Like you have to set that up on your own. Whereas the 403B or some type of cash savings plan, that's usually associated with your residency program.
Yeah, so you got to go to HR.
Go to your human resources department, and they will, they will help you with that. The IRA, you'll have to go to like a Fidelity or a Vanguard.
Or a bank.
Or a bank, or even, what do you call those things, the smaller places?
What?
Credit unions,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you do that on your own. But all of these things that we're talking about, whether it's a 403B or an IRA, you get some tax savings from that also. Mm-hmm. So these are just things that you got to just start thinking about as you go into your intern year, or as you start working towards your intern year.
Yeah.
You ain't got to get it perfect, but you also don't want to ignore, right? Mm-hmm. And you could just take baby steps.
The last thing that I'm going to mention for this is,
because we need to wrap this up. Brother needs to work out.
So the last piece of advice I would give for especially your interns is make a plan.
What kind of plan?
Make an assessment and then make a plan. Don't come with no assessment without a plan.
What are you talking about, for taking care of patients?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Make a plan. Now is not the time. You're not a medical student anymore. Like, even medical students are expected to make a plan, but not as much as residents are, right? So make a plan. It could be the wrong plan. Make a plan. I'd rather you come with a wrong plan than come with no plan at all. Right? So make a plan. Whatever, your diagnosis is, your assessment is, make a plan.
And a plan is not, hey, I'm just going to talk to my attendant.
Yeah, the plan is not.
That's not a plan.
Yeah.
Make a plan. All right?
Make a plan. What would you do for this patient if the buck stopped with you?
Patient here with appendicitis.
You would not go and talk to your attending.
Give me a plan, yo. All right? Stop some antibiotics. Make them NPO.
Well, yes, exactly. Right? So make a plan. That's all. And the plan should be on paper first.
All right, y'all.
Whatever.
Listen, Don Marco too, congratulations on being an internal medicine doctor. And thank you for writing in. If you have any more questions, you could always DM us on Instagram or send us an email at, what's the email address for us?
No, we don't have an email address. Okay. You keep saying this. You got to go to the website.
Go to the website, drneedarko.com.
/contact
and let us know what's the scoop. Yo, we appreciate everybody jumping on live with us. We're going to start doing this more often. And this is eventually going to be a podcast episode. So we just want to say shout out to y'all for doing that. And Don Marco, tell your friends about this show. All right?
Tell them to subscribe.
Tell them to subscribe. And everybody on here, subscribe. All right? We need the subscribers. And we need more people to review our videos. Come on now. And then also you can check us out on all the DSPs as well as all of the podcast hosts. All right. So DSPs are like the Spotify's, are like the Apple Music, YouTube Music, but then also on, what's the other ones? Google Podcast doesn't exist anymore, but you know what I'm talking about. Wherever you listen to your favorite music or your favorite podcast, that's where you're going to find us at, yo. Yep. All right, y'all. We'll see you guys on the next one.
You're welcome, Don Marco.
Peace.
Oh, awesome.
Emily, thank you.